everyone, welcome to Chuck's Diecast Car and Model Reviews. Today we are taking a look at the McLaren P1 as made by AutoArt. Some of you may recall that I did actually do a review of the McLaren P1 by AutoArt before. However, that was the P1 in 1/18 scale, and this one is in 1/12, as you can see here by this little Hot Wheels model of the P1 that I have put next to it here. The reason why I got this model in 1/12 scale is, well, the P1 is one of my favorite, what you call hypercars nowadays. This is actually one of the original hypercars. I mean, 10 years ago this came out, and there was no real term hypercar until this, the LaFerrari and the Porsche 918 came out, all of them with an excess of 900 horsepower, which was of course pretty phenomenal back in that day. And this car still is one of the fastest cars in the world. In fact, it is speed limited by the factory to 217 miles an hour. This particular model is in a color known as Volcano Red, which is a color I absolutely love. It's this beautiful dark metallic red, and I've seen a few McLaren 720S's in this color, but I haven't seen a P1 in this color. I've seen one in sort of a purple/blue color flip color, which, as I recall correctly, belongs to, or at least belonged to, a Major League Baseball player. I've seen a bare carbon fiber one at the Peterson Museum in Los Angeles. I've seen a few in and around Monterey, both on sale and just driving around. And I've also seen a McLaren P1 GTR, which is a track-only version, which is really cool. It just has a, refined aerodynamics, and I believe it has a lower ground clearance as well. At Canapa Design in California also. Now, this is a fairly rare car here. I mean, they made only 375 of these. I believe they cost about $1.3 million a piece. Plus, they made 58 of the GTR version. And I believe that they made maybe 5 or 6 more GTRs that were actually street legal as well. This is, in terms of its performance, a pretty amazing car. It has a hybrid motor. It has a 3.8 liter twin turbocharged V8 with about 700 horsepower. I think it's about like 720 horsepower actually. And then it has an electric motor with a shade under 200 horsepower, which gives it a little over 900 horsepower. It does have pretty amazing performance, of course, as I mentioned, a top speed of 217 miles an hour. I believe it does 0 to 60 in something like 2.8 seconds. And, other figures that would just kind of blow your mind. I'm not really a huge hybrid fan in terms of, that type of thing, because most of the time it's not done for performance reasons, but it's done for economy reasons, fuel economy. But the P1 does it for performance reasons. So does the LaFerrari and the Porsche 918. So, I'll give them a pass on that. Okay. Well, let's take a look at this model here. It's really, really nicely detailed, of course, being that is in 1/12 scale. It does have, as you can see, excellent paint, excellent carbon fiber detail on there. I actually got this model for a discount. I bought it, and I believe I paid about $350 for it. From a place called 5 Diecast, which I bought many models from actually, because they have reasonable prices and they have only $9.95 shipping. So I really like them. But anyway, I hadn't received any notification that it had been shipping after I bought it for a week or so, and then I got an email from them saying, "Hey, there's a problem with your car. It has a couple of grills that came loose. This is the last one. They're all sold out. So if you want it, we'll give you a 20% discount." So I accepted the 20% discount, and one of the grills that's missing was this one here. And I did glue it back in place, but it's really, really deep in there. It's hard to see, and I considered not even replacing it because it's really doesn't affect the aesthetics of the car. In fact, the other grill that fell out is back here in this hole, and I'm having a hard time even seeing the other grill on this side, so I may not even replace that one because it looks like it's going to be really tough to replace. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look again further at the details of this model. Again, really, really nice detail. The wheels look fantastic. The tires look really good, and they are branded. You'll notice here that it does have a valve stem in there, right there. And of course, as I mentioned, it does have those through grills there too. Looks like I need to clean a little bit of the foam lint out of there from shipping still. But that's just something I can clean out and doesn't affect the model itself, of course. Headlights look excellent. You can see these radiators here in the intakes. And I just love the styling of this car. This car was designed by a gentleman named Frank Stephenson, who is really one of the great car designers. And he's designed another one of my favorite cars, which is the Maserati MC12. He also designed the Ferrari 430, again, one of my favorite Ferraris. And even the new Mini Cooper, that came out, well, it's not so new anymore, but I guess probably, 15 or 20 years ago. So, again, he is definitely a very good and a very respected car designer. I understand he came up with the design of this car when he was on a trip to Florida and saw somebody had caught a sailfish, and he was inspired by the shape of the sailfish to come up with this car. It is a very organic look to it, so I can see that, but I certainly can't see a sailfish in there. But anyway, again, a really nice look at the front. The front trunk does open here to show you what there is to see under here. Of course, you've got that tiny little storage compartment, and that's really about it. Look under here, and you can also see they did a good job on the windshield wiper, and a nice strut holding up the engine. hinges here look very good as well. So again, nicely done in the front. We'll take a look at the back here. And now the unfortunate thing about this model, which actually differs from the 1/18 scale model, is that you can't open up the engine bay. In the 1/18 scale model, you can pull off this entire clamshell. But with the 1/12 scale model, unfortunately you can't. So you have to treat this model like you're one of the owners of the vehicles and just admire it from the outside, because you can't open up the real car engine bay either unless you take it to the McLaren shop. But there is, of course, nice detail here through the window, badging and the intake and all that sort of stuff. So that does look good in there. And of course, I love the the roof scoop there. Very much reminiscent, of course, of the McLaren F1. Okay, when you take a look at the back here, beautiful detail back here, of course, with the grille and also the tail lights and the turn signals are all LEDs, which wrap around this opening here, and you really don't even see them until they turn on. So that looks good. The exhaust looks great, and all the detailing here for the rear diffuser looks really good there too. So again, I'm really happy with that. Another thing that the P1 does have is, of course, a deploying wing, and in the 18 scale model you got a button to push that sort of pops it out, but in the 1/12 scale model all you do is just pry it up here with your little AutoArt tool that you get with the model itself, and then it locks into place. It does change angle just like the real car, which is not only there for downforce but also as a form of a speed brake when you put it up to maximum attack there. So again, it looks really good. The struts holding it up look very good, and so I like that. And then when you take a look at the interior, again, very, very nicely done. I'll go ahead and bring it up here a little bit closer for you to see, and you will see very excellent detailing in there. Fabric seats, really nice detail on the steering wheel, the center console, the dash. It's hard to see the dash because it's of course behind the steering wheel. The pedals there look good, and everything in there looks fantastic. Okay, I'll go ahead and open the other side here as well so you can look there. This side doesn't stay open like the other one does though, because the hinge is a little bit looser, unfortunately, but again, you can see inside just to see how good the interior detail is. And for those of you who are wondering what the bottom looks like every other hypercar, it just has carbon fiber flat bottom to aid in aerodynamics and downforce. So not much to see there. Okay, so my final opinion on this is that this is really an excellent model. It's definitely going to take pride of place there in my 1/12 scale model collection. I hope you enjoyed this review, of course, and if so, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Have yourself a great day.